All right, let me check in with the last thing of Dlrympl goes wrong. So Dlrympl apparently had really gone wrong because he had started robbing people regularly, and indeed he seems to have inspired a copycat and has even gained a name for himself as the robber. It's got some kind of a nickname. I can't remember what it is right now. But yeah, that he's been robbing people, and he at this point he's basically figuring in the last two sections. This is the final wrap up of the story. That it's like, okay, I'm gonna make enough money, and then I'm gonna take off. When he goes, but he's decided I better not stop with working my regular job, because that might draw attention to myself, especially since I've got money. So at least I have, like, if I've got my job, then it explains why I have money. And it's also kind of probably a good cover for myself. But one day he comes in, and Mr. Macy has a word with him and says, "Oh, I want you to go see this guy, Fraser, this guy called Fraser, who is a really influential guy of the thing. It's one of these things where his brother, all his family is sort of in politics. What does it say about him? Yeah, Mr. Fraser was supposed to be the biggest political influence in the city. His brother was Senator Fraser, his son-in-law Congressman Denning, and his influence, though not wielded in such a way as to make him an objectionable boss, was strong nevertheless. And basically says, well, we're looking for new blood. I have been watching you just to see, like, how you do, because, like, you got all this praise showered on you at first, and I figured maybe, like, you got this job with Mr. Macy that you'd decide you're too good for it. And indeed, I was worried about you at the beginning because you're, like, asking for a raise and stuff like this, and agitating for yourself. But I see you actually settled down, and you're a good workhorse. And so I want to put you in the Senate. He says, you want me to run? You're going to put me up to run for the Senate? It's like, no, I'm going to put you in the Senate. These guys control these political levers, and he will assuredly get in. And he's like, okay, sure. I don't know how, people have forgotten about me. We can just put you back into the newspapers, and suddenly everyone will again remember that you're a war hero. And then off you go. And you can tell that this is the final corruption. There's being, like, I would kind of criticized him for, like, oh, okay, he's just robbing people, which seems like the kind of the most small-minded, the most small change kind of taking. Now he's gotten on to the true moral corruption of he's selling himself to this political boss to be a lackey, a stooge, to really affect the country, but only for his own personal good. And indeed, so by the end here, Dlrympl has, at 23, that's how old Dlrympl is, he has completely gone wrong, and you'll have to give me a lot of advice at first, but basically, yeah, I'm gonna be thing. And it's like, so life was this, after all. Cutting corners, common sense, that was the rule. No more foolish risks now unless necessity called. But it was being hard that counted. Never let remorse or self-reproach lose him a night's sleep. Let his life be a sword of courage. There was no payment. All that was drivel. Yeah, so I'm anything about conscience, about honor, about stuff like that, it's like, no, just go for what you want, and all the rest is drivel. So that is the story where Dlrympl has truly gone wrong by the end of it. All right, I will leave it there. More videos later.